Good evening, all. I'm Richard Campbell, your host for Peanuts for Pensioners tonight. And tonight I will be talking about pensions and other benefits available. On my last program, a viewer commented in discussing pension amounts. So I decided in this show to go in that much more detail. Here in the UK, it is a two-tier system: the old state pension and the new state pension. It's estimated there are 15.5 million pensioners, and we make up 23% of the population. Of those, approximately 3.2 million are aged 80 or over. And of those, 600,000 are 90 or over. So it just shows the level of pensioners within a small country. So we really should have some saying power. Well, to get a pension, you need at least 10 qualifying years on your national insurance record to get any pension. They don't have to be qualifying years in a row. How much state pension you get depends on your national insurance record. The full state pension for the old system is £156 per week. If you're a man, you usually need 35 qualifying years if you were born between 1945 and 1951. 44 qualifying years if you were born before 1945. If you're a woman, you usually need 30 qualifying years if you were born between 1950 and 1953. 35 qualifying years if you were born before 1950. If you have fewer than the full number of qualifying years, your basic state pension will be less than £156.20 a week. Now, if you look here, I have some figures. The state pension, the new state pension full rate is $185.15 last year, and has gone up by just over 10% to £203.85. The old state pension, category A or B, last year was $141.85 and $156.20. Now, there are other things. A category B, which is the lower basic pension, which is for a spouse or civil partners insurance, is, we'll say, currently at $93.60. A category C or D, which is a non-contributory, is $93.60 also. And as you can see, they've gone up again by just over 10%. Now, it's interesting, for long-term incapacity for age, they have a higher rate, lower rate, and you can see it adds like 26.6 pence per week to your pension, or the lower rate, 13.3 pence. Now, the laugh is when you reach 80, you get additional pension. And guess what? An extra 25 pence a week. Now, maybe we could go out and buy a coffee once every 2.5 months. It's laughable that they even give us that. Now, the invalid allowance, as you can see, the figures there aren't much either. So anyhow, now that we've looked at the figures, many of the people don't receive the full amount, as they have been self-employed and did not make up the voluntary payments, or they may have been unemployed for a period And actually, I know many people who are receiving reduced payments, even though they may have reached pension age. Um, they have to still carry on working or top upfront from their personal savings. Now we'll turn our attention to other benefits available. But at this moment, we're going to take a quick break to look at some of our sponsor commercials. Stay tuned.
I have lived 1,000 lives.
Are you feeling okay?
I am every one of them, and they are me. I have been the future she fought for, and the future they dreamed about. I have restarted hearts and resuscitated hope. I have been newfound strength. I have been John's second first step. And I have been the present in someone's past. I am midnight and the morning light. I have moulded amputees into athletes. I am the pupil, the teacher, the leader. Don't just live your life. Live 1,000 lives. We are the NHS. We are recruiting now. Search NHS Careers.
Do you know what? It can be dangerous, all those tools and wobbly ladders. But what about the stuff we can't see? Asbestos could be in any home built or refurbished from the 50s till as late as just before 2000. And it shows up where you wouldn't expect, around boilers, behind tiles, even in some old paint. And if disturbed, it's a killer. So before you wade in, take 5 and stay alive. Go to take5andstayalive.com for your free asbestos guide. It could be the most important 5 minutes of your life.
Welcome back. I'm Richard Campbell. Now, just to remind people, if they have any comments or suggestions, they can use our email, which we'll show you after, and send in your comments, and we'll try to either address them or use what you're saying and comment. Anyhow, right now, we're going to look in the UK here. There are a number of other benefits available for pensioners. There's pension credit, housing benefit, winter fuel allowance, free medical, free prescriptions, free eye test, bus pass. There are probably others also, but we'll explore those probably another time. And besides being for pensioners, some of those are also available to other low income or those on state benefits. Anyhow, pension credit comes in 2 parts. You might be eligible for one or both. What is guaranteed credit? Guaranteed credit tops up your weekly income to a guaranteed minimum level. In 2023-2024, this is £201.05 if you're single, £306.85 if you're a couple. What is savings credit? Savings credit is extra money. If you've got some savings or if your income is higher than the basic state pension, it's available to people who reached the state pension age before the 6th of April 2016. That's the date that it changed over from old pension to new state pension. 2023 to 24, you can get up to £15.94 extra a week if you're single, or £17.84 per week if you're a couple. By claiming pension credit, you may become eligible for other benefits too, such as help with health and housing costs. Can I get savings credit? Well, if you've reached state pension age before the 6th of April 2016, or if you're a couple and one of you died, you might be eligible to claim savings credit. There isn't a savings limit for pension credit. However, if you have over 10,000 in savings, this will affect how much you receive. Now, for each 1,000 more, it takes off a percentage of the pension credit. And what other help can I get by claiming pension credit? A pension credit, it doesn't just top up your income, it can help you with other benefits too. Pension credit can help with health costs. You'll get free National Health Service dental treatment, and you can get help with the cost of glasses and transport to the hospital. If you're a carer, you might get an extra amount known as Care Addition, which is worth up to £42.75 a week. If you have a disability, you may get an extra amount known as Severe Disability Allowance, which is worth up to $76.40 a week. And pension credit can help with housing costs. You probably won't have to pay council tax, which is your property tax, unless other people live with you. If you rent your home, you might get your rent paid in full by housing benefit. If you own your own home, you might be eligible for help with mortgage interest, ground rent, and service charges. And if you're over 75, you can get a free television license. In the past, anybody over pension age could get a free television license. Now, no one. If you're over 75 in the past. Housing benefit could cover your rent, but if there are any non-dependent adults in the accommodation and they are working, it will reduce the amount one receives. In order to receive a housing benefit, you must be receiving pension credit. Medical support is available to all citizens of the United Kingdom. Pensioners receive free prescriptions. This also is applied to those on state benefits. Now, in most countries, they have to pay for their prescriptions, and it can be quite hefty amounts they have to pay. All pensioners can apply for a free bus pass. This allows one to travel on local buses anywhere in England and Wales. Scotland and Northern Ireland have their own bus passes. And pensioners receive a winter fuel allowance to heat their homes. This past year, it was £300 for those 65 to 79 years, and those over 80 received £400. Well, going back to when I talked about people going to a food bank, I caught up with Steve Drew from the Corsham Church's Food Bank, and he updated me on some of the situation that's affecting all food banks across the country.
Donations this year are probably half what they were at this time last year to most food banks, and that's because of the cost of living. People simply can't afford to donate in the way that they used to. So all food banks need whatever help you can give them at the moment. Certainly we are spending, in this food bank, we're spending money on buying food that we normally would have been given to us. And that our limited resources are being spent that way. So please give as much as you can to your local food bank. They need it, almost certainly.
Yep. Just a very short thing on energy. I've looked at Ofgem to see how they function, and Ofgem is the statutory framework that sets up and caps what we pay. The framework is set up by Parliament. They have to work within this. This establishes their duties and gives them powers to achieve their objectives. The Office of Gas and Electricity Markets, Ofgem, regulates monopoly companies which run the gas and electricity networks. It takes decisions on price controls and enforcement, acting in the interest of the consumers and helping the industry to achieve environmental improvements. Ofgem works to protect energy consumers, to ensure that the regulatory decision making is informed by the views, experiences, and needs of British energy consumers. We regularly conduct research with consumers. Their research helps them to understand a wide range of consumers, including businesses, consumers, and those in vulnerable situations. This helps to develop this understanding further, excuse me, by commissioning independent quantitative and qualitative consumer research. Using behavioral science expertise to apply a behavioral lens to internal and external challenges that involve consumers. Conducting research in-house in response to topical issues. Reviewing research and evidence published by a variety of other organizations. The reduction in the price cap level reflects a significant reduction in the cost of buying and providing energy for customers. If it continues, it will mean that by the summer, that's pretty soon, prices paid by consumers will drop for the first time since the global gas crisis took hold more than 18 months ago. It is rumored that electricity will fall by 3.65 pence a kilowatt and gas by 2.9, and it's believed that this will be announced in the next week or two by Ofgem and probably take effect in July. Well, I'll sign off for tonight, and we'll be with you in the next show, and we'll look in more depth at energy and food. Thank you for tuning in, and if you have any comments, suggestions, please email them in. Thank you very much.